What is going on here? And welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Maverick bringing you back to yet another list video. I figured since the NBA preseason starts tonight and the Timberwolves are tipping off their NBA preseason, I figured as of right now, this is as of right now, by the time you see this video, the preseason will be active and in full swing, but I figured since my Timberwolves are playing on the night that I'm recording this, I figured I'd just go ahead and just do it. Lately, the Vikings have been kind of, weighing too hard on your boy, and I'm just so happy to see the Wolves back. Hashtag Wolves back. You know what I'm saying? And furthermore, basketball is a great sport to watch, still to this day. And the WNBA Finals is in full swing. Sadly, my links didn't make it because Nafisa Collier rolled her ankle. You know what I mean? So we going to have to, us Minnesota sports fans, we're in desperation. We're in mourning. We need something positive to look forward to, okay? Okay? So I decided, why not match the negativity of the vibes and just go for 5 overrated NBA players and 5 underrated NBA players. Everybody around, the NBA locus has their personal favorites, and everybody around, this time of year likes to get mouthy, when it comes to the sport. But it's all because we love basketball. You know what I'm saying? We come together just to, not just vibe and have a good time, but talk about the sport we love. And I figured we just kick it off. We got 3 weeks until the opening season comes through. And the NBA is back on NBC. Hallelujah for that. So, yeah, let's go ahead and let's dive right in. What's the first thing we're going to get into? Now, mind you, make your own list if you don't agree with my opinions. All right, first overrated player. I was debating in my mind to put the guy in here. But after what I saw from his recent years, and especially what I saw in his performance in Team USA, I got to put him in here, and that's Joel freaking Embiid. He is hella overrated. I'm sorry. The Philadelphia 76ers, they should just blow this whole team up. Trade Paul George, trade Embiid, trade everyone. Just blow it up. Like, I get it. Having Embiid around makes y'all competitive, but what has he done since 2019? Other than steal an MVP from Nikola Jokic. This dude gets hurt every year. You know what I'm saying? He's whining to refs. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's not I won't take nothing away. When he's on the court, he's hecka solid. But when the playoffs come around, he always has a tendency to get injured. And I'm just not a fan of injury-prone players that are propped up to this high standard of taking a team over the hump as the guy. The problem with Joel Embiid, he's supposed to be the guy, but he don't live up to being the guy. That's just what it is between me and Joel Embiid. Look, we're not talking about him as a person. Not at all, gang. We just talking about him as a basketball player, for lack of a better term, okay? Y'all gotta bear with me. We're not talking about people off the court. We're talking about people on the court. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure off the court he's pretty much a kind person when he's not pissed off like everyone else is. But when we're talking about on the court, he's not that reliable. When you're injured a whole bunch, you're not that reliable. How are you supposed to be the guy if you're always injured? That's just my take. Alrighty. Coming in at number 5th underrated. We got another injury-prone guy, but before he got injured consistently year in and year out, this dude was hecka solid. Like, now, mind you, some of his takes recently, I put question marks on him, but when he was on the court, he was cash money, ladies and gentlemen. Chandler Parsons. Now, all my 2K lovers, we know how cold Chandler Parsons was on 2K, all right? But that's not the reason why he's on this list. The reason why he's on this list, I remember there was a time where he would average at least 5 threes a game. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember when I was, when my dad would take me to go see the Timberwolves, he would we would sit up in near the nosebleeds, and the Mavericks came in town when they had Rondo, Tyson Chandler, and Monte Ellis, all and Chandler Parsons in the starting lineup with Dirk. And this dude Chandler hit like freaking 3-4 threes in a back to back. You know what I'm saying? Like this dude could not be stopped. Like when he was like look at his season averages, man. You know what I'm saying? He always averaged a solid 15 a game in Houston. And then when it came down to Dallas, it was relatively the same if he didn't get injured. You know what I'm saying? Like, dog, this dude would get hot and stay hot. You know what I mean? And I feel like if injuries did not derail him, he would still be like that solid, third option on a team that he was. Because when he was in Houston, he didn't get that much. He didn't get that much attention offensively because it was mainly run the offense through Harden or get the ball to Dwight in the paint. That's what that was for him in Houston. And then when he got to Dallas, he actually got, a little bit more shine, but still a couple of more ball dominant players was on there like Monte Ellis. Rajon Rondo was always bringing up the ball. Getting the ball to Dirk was also a big priority. So he was always just like a solid third option when he was healthy. Like, y'all remember when he hit 10 threes and a half before? When he was on the Houston Rockets? Dude had a flicker flame jumper. But yeah, man. If only he didn't blow out his knees, and if only the car accident didn't happen, he'd probably still be playing right now. But yeah, man. Coming in fourth overrated. It hurts me to admit this as a Timberwolves fan, but I got to put him in here. Karl Anthony Towns. Now, it's the same problem I have as Embiid. Like, when Cat was the number one guy on the Timberwolves, dog, he barely even, I don't even think when he was the number one guy, before Ant-Man came, he didn't even lead the Timberwolves to the first round, past the first round. He'd always get injured at the most opportune times. I remember one time, he strained his hamstring or something, or strained his calf or something. One of them two. And then, dog, he would spend, an insurmountable amount of time on injured reserve. You know what I'm saying? The report would say, 2 to 4 weeks. This dude would take freaking 6 to 8 weeks. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I get it. If you get hurt while you're bigger, your lower extremities are not, as quick to recover, or some logic like that when it comes down to the human anatomy. But this dude would take heck long coming back from injury. You know what I'm saying? And furthermore, I have two big problems with Cat's game. Okay, not saying that he's terrible. He's actually a great player. But when he's forced to be the number one guy, he doesn't really deliver that hard. Now, when he's a second option, that's when he's at his best. When he's alongside Ant-Man, and right now with the Knicks alongside Jalen Brunson, he's actually better when the lights are not shined directly at him. He's better being a Robin than a Batman. You feel what I'm saying? So, yeah, man. Let's go ahead and look at his... let me see. Because I got to see... In the playoffs, if he's a playoff riser or if he's a playoff deliverer, because let me see. See, look, this is my point. When he took Minnesota to the playoffs in 2018, he went from in the regular season averaging 24 points per game to averaging only 15.2. And then in 2021-22, he went from averaging 24 points per game to averaging 21. Which is not a big dump off, but it's still a dump off. However, at that same time, he was the number 2 option next to Anthony Edwards, which further proves my point that he's better as a great second option that teams can fear and get behind versus him being a number 1 option. But yeah, my 2 biggest problems with Cat, he complains to referees a bunch. You know what I'm saying? And another problem I have with him is that he also, despite being 7 feet tall, this dude do not like posting up. All he likes to do, I've seen this on the Timberwolves. He would take the ball up top like he's a guard and try to drive and finish with layup instead of getting in the paint, using his size, doing whatever he needs to do, and then just getting easy ones. He'd rather camp at the 3-point line and wait for somebody to pass it to him for a shot or pass it to him so that way he could drive in like he's a guard when he's 6'11". Look, if I'm the coach, I want my 6'11" guys in the paint, posting somebody up and getting easy buckets. You know what I'm saying? Making life hard for the opposing bigs. You know what I'm saying? Cat just don't got that dog in him. Jimmy Butler sensed it. What more can I say? Coming in fourth, underrated. This is another guy that fell victim to injuries, but before he started getting injured a whole bunch, he was hecka solid. Danny Granger. A lot of y'all forget that Danny Granger was hecka solid on the Indiana Pacers. A lot of y'all forget. This dude is a former All-Star and a former three-point contest participant. And he won Most Improved Player the same year he got an All-Star selection. Like, I'm telling you, this guy had a burner. He had an inside game. He had a mid-range game. Dude was a complete player. You're like, dude, in his All-Star, so he averaged 25 a game. You know what I'm saying? Average of 5.5 rebounds. You know what I mean? 2 assists. Shooting 40% from the field and 3 and 87% from the free throw line. Like, dude had a nice game. There were a couple times where he gave all-star small forwards a problem. Just Janae. Just got my setup back after the move. Don't have my headphones, so I can't hear you, but I want to stop and say hi. No problem, Just Janae. Just keep tuning in. You know what I'm saying? As I, dribble on this NBA video that I'm filming for YouTube. Just dribble on. Okay. So yeah, pun intended on the dribble on joke, but yeah, this dude was hecka solid. Like, he would average 20. He would average 20 a night. You know what I'm saying? Giving opposing small forwards the issues. You know what I'm saying? Like, there were a couple games where he gave LeBron the business. He was able to keep up with Carmelo. He was able to keep up with KD at times. You know what I'm saying? Like, he kept up with a lot of opposing team small forwards. You know what I'm saying? In fact, I want to say there's this one YouTube video where he like dropped 27 against LeBron. Now that I think about it, but yeah, man, I don't want to show it because I don't want the NBA flagging my shit, or taking it down. So I'm not gonna show those clips, but y'all can look them up on your own time. But yeah, this dude was always hecka solid, and if you play 2K from like maybe 2K9, 2K8, 2K9 all the way up to 2K13, dude had a clip. And like, I feel so bad that injuries, his knee injuries were too much for him to overcome, and once he came back, he settled for being just a sniper off the bench. You know what I mean? Like he had his body gave out on him way too early, because knee injuries at 29, 30ish, you don't come back from those as quick as you would in your younger 20s, man. If only. That's all we can say. Look, if we could talk about what is from Derrick Rose, we could talk about what is from Chandler Parsons and Danny Granger, okay? Anyways, let's keep going. Coming in at number 3, overrated. I gotta put him here because when he's called to step up, he gets knocked down. Jimmy Butler. Jimmy. I could make a reference to this past year's playoffs when Curry was hurt, and he was pretty much the only star on his team. But I'm not gonna. What I am gonna do is mention whenever he's the number one guy, somehow, some way, he always falls short, and everybody still overhypes him, overglazes him, talking about, oh, he's Jimmy Butler. He's the son of Michael Jordan. If he's the son of Michael Jordan, how come he ain't won nothing? Jimmy Butler is not him. He's just not him. In the bubble, you went to the finals. That's great. Yeah, your lineups were scrambled and all over the place because of injuries. But even while you was in the game, you can only manage 2 wins. Even in the series, you can only manage 2 wins against the Lakers. And then when you flash forward and make it to the 2023 finals against Jokic and the Denver Nuggets, that you proved that you couldn't overcome the dominance that is Nikola Jokic. You proved that even while your team is healthy, you still can't get them over the hump. You still can't. Yeah, you were able to squeak out, and yet you only squeaked out 2 wins yet again. And like, dog, you lit up the Eastern Conference and made people believe in you to the point where you started believing your own hype. That's what I can't stand about Butler. Look, you always gonna be just a B plus player. You were that when you were next to Derrick Rose. You tried to be an A plus player on the Timberwolves on a loaded team and you failed here. You were a B plus player on the 76ers next to Embiid, and you were a B plus player putting on that A plus mask in Miami, and now you on Golden State riding Curry's coattails, and you still think you're him when you're not. Flukes. Coming in 3 underrated. I decided to put a legendary point guard that doesn't get the credit he deserves. And his name is Baron Davis. Baron Davis, I always thought that, he was in that consistent borderline top 10 for like mid-2000s point guards. Because, dude had a bag for real. And he could dunk. I feel like he doesn't get enough shine because of the teams he played for. He played for Golden State, which was before the Curry era, wasn't really much thought of. Post-run TMC, pre-Curry wasn't really much thought of until he made them, a playoff hopeful every year with the We Believe stuff, you know what I'm saying? And then, before that, you know what I'm saying, he was on the Hornets for a bit, you know what I'm saying? Being playoff hopefuls there. Even though they didn't really, make deep playoff runs, he still was putting in work. It's just that, it's tough being, the only true pure all-star on your team. You know what I'm saying? And then, he always bounced around the league when he could. His Knick years were solid. You know what I'm saying? His last couple years with the Cavaliers and the Clippers, decent. He always was one of those guys that was always majorly consistent, that don't get the credit he deserves because the point guard scene around his time was dominated by guys like Jason Kidd, Steve Nash, Chris Paul, you know what I'm saying? Steve Francis even gets more love than this guy. You feel me? And we talking about point guards. You know what I'm saying? Tony Parker, Rajon Rondo. You know what I mean? It's a whole bunch of just super duper loaded talent at point guard when it comes down to the 2000s. That Baron Davis's name, is hard pressed to even get a mention. You know what I'm saying? Chauncey Billups will get mentioned before this guy. And I would argue Baron's bag is just as nasty, if not more nastier than Chauncey Billups. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. He should have at least joined a team that was championship worthy during his final couple years, so that way he could get a title. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to you, B Diddy. Oh yeah. He was also he also took out the Dallas Mavericks team that had MVP Dirk in the first round while the Warriors were 8th seed. That was iconic. Sadly, he lost to the Utah Jazz led by my boy Darren Williams, but the very next round. But that moment in itself, immortalized him in my eyes as one of the greatest point guards to ever pick up the ball. Coming in at second most overrated. I hate to do this. I really hate to do this because he was born in the same year as me. But I got to keep it real, dude. Ja Morant is the most overrated point guard in the NBA, bro. Look, I get it. My generation loves him. People younger than me love him. People older love him. But, dog, he has all of this hype. But what does he have to show for it? He ain't got no chips. He ain't got no solo awards, no MVPs. He always getting in trouble somewhere for playing with guns. And he's always somewhere getting injured. I can't rock behind this dude. Like you had so many chances back to back, to prove yourself. You could have beat the Warriors that in 2022. You could have beat them, but you froze, and the whole team froze behind you. You said you was fine in the West and that you were gonna beat the Lakers, but the Lakers put belt to ass to you. And it seems to me that you haven't recovered. You haven't recovered. So unless I see you stay healthy throughout an entire season again and be consistent in the playoffs, my faith in Ja Morant has dwindled down to putridly low. Y'all can love up on his bag. Y'all can compare him to Iverson, compare him to Westbrook. Y'all can do what y'all want. But you won't hear them comparisons come out of my mouth until he actually makes some noise in the playoffs. At least get to the conference finals. At least get to the conference finals, bro. Come get to the conference finals. Don't get swept. And maybe I'll have you in my good graces. Okay, Ja? You a great player. Great player. But you got to work on being healthy. You got to quit playing with guns. And you have to wear that captain patch like it's a badge of honor. Like you got a duty to fulfill. All right? Coming in a second, underrated. We got another Timberwolves legend. His name is Kevin Martin. Now, Kevin Martin is hecka solid. You know, I always thought that if he wasn't in bad situations in organizations, he'd probably be like a solid a sixth man on an NBA championship team. Because, you know, like he had a nice 3-level scoring bag. Can't even lie. Like, y'all remember when he dunked on Tayshaun Prince? Yeah, I remember. But yeah, man, like he definitely is a bag chaser for real. But the years that my Timberwolves had him, I cherished him, even though he had injuries here and there. But you know, when he was on the court, man, when he was hot, he was hot. However, there were some games where he would grow cold. But when he was hot, oh man, was it a sight to see. He's hitting them threes everywhere with that awkward form of his. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? He's driving to the lane. He's playmaking. You know what I'm saying? Can play solid defense. You know what I'm saying? Like Kevin Martin, you know, he gave some very great efforts when he was on my Timberwolves. Now his Rockets years were like peak Kevin Martin, where he was just doing everything for the Rockets. You know what I'm saying? Because that was like the post Yao Ming era, you know, and they didn't have no stars, so they went ahead and got Kevin Martin from the Kings. So that was peak Kevin Martin. You know what I'm saying? And then, like, he had that 1 year on the Thunder where he was, like, the third option because they traded him for the James Harden, which worked out for a little bit until they realized that Kevin only had 1 year on his contract and he didn't want to resign with the Thunder. And that's how he came to my Timberwolves. And that's, I always remember him, like, I remember one game where he had, like, 5 threes in a row against the Knicks. I'm like, yo, this dude Kmart is nice! You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. Shout out to Kmart. You know, one of the most underrated shooters of all time, for sure. Like, when we talk about pure shooters, nobody brings up Kevin Martin, probably because of his ugly ass form. But ugly form or not, that bitch still going. Anyway, number one overrated. Y'all already know who's always gonna be here. Y'all already know if you watch my channel. Your glorious GOAT, your glorious king, LeBron Raymond James Sr. Y'all already know. I ain't gotta beat the dead horse. He's the greatest ever to you guys. But he won four times and lost 6 times in the finals. The fact that he lost 6 times takes him out of the number one conversation. LeBron can be top 10 dead or alive, and I'll be satisfied. But he's never satisfied because you fans, you LeSexuals, you LeBron writers, your Glazers, y'all will never ever be satisfied until everybody says he's number one. What? He's the reason why we can't have a diversity of opinion in the NBA anymore. Shoot. When I was younger, I would tell you my GOAT is Kevin Garnett. Shoot. And I'll still say that because he's about to get his jersey retired soon enough by my Timberwolves. So, but yeah, man, like, look, speaking of my Timberwolves, didn't he lose to my Timberwolves in the first round last year? Come on, gang. Look. He's your glorious GOAT, but he's always somewhere getting his ass kicked. Let's just be for real, man. Now, I will give him credit. That 2012 ring, his first ring, amazing work. Amazing work. He proved that he could be the guy. You know what I'm saying? Hitting the last field goal in the 2013 finals in Game 7. Even though that wouldn't happen if Ray Allen didn't bail him out in Game 6. But I'll still give him credit. Because the Spurs choked. And he took advantage. So, 2016, the refs helped you out. And Kyrie bailed you out. 2020, the virus bailed you out. And then, look at the times you lost. One of those times you had a 2-1 lead. You blew a 2-1 lead to the Mavericks. That's the biggest stain on your career, bro. You joined a super team, didn't develop your game, let the Dallas Mavericks, with one all-star and a team full of great role players and glue guys, bust your ass. You were on the super team. You were the high favorites. You, Bosh, and Wade were the high favorites, and you were supposed to be the guy and take over, but you didn't take over, bro. You had a 2-1 lead. Blew it. And then you got swept twice. Everybody tells me 2018 LeBron was so cold. No, he was not. He got swept that year. He got swept. 2012 LeBron was way better because he couldn't be stopped. He was a man on a mission. Okay? Like this version right here. Hold on. This version of LeBron right here. Heat with LeBron. That was the best version of him. Not this Lakers version. Definitely not the first stint of the Cavaliers. Not the second stint in the Cavaliers where y'all just glaze them for the stupid block. No, man. The play that decided the game was Kyrie's shot. It wasn't just the block. The block was just the lead up. Okay? Now, if LeBron hit that shot instead of Kyrie, I would give him way more credit. But you get it. Not the GOAT. Top 10 dead or alive? For sure. I'll let y'all have that. But number one? No. Not better than Jordan. Not better than Kobe. Not better than Duncan. Not better than Shaq. Not better than Bill. You know what I'm saying? Let's move right along. Not better than Magic. Not better than Kareem. I rest my case. Coming in number one, most underrated. Well, actually, I'm not going to say most underrated because, like, really, these lists of C's can be in whatever order. These players can be in whatever order, but I'm going to keep rolling. Derek Fisher. Now, the reason why I say he's hecka underrated, he's always been this solid dump out role for Kobe Bryant to pitch to whenever he's getting double teamed. I've seen Derek Fisher take over games when it didn't look like he could. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all remember the 0.4 of a second shot in that one round against the Spurs? Like, he saved the Lakers' ass that game. I think they eventually would lose that series, but still, he saved their butts. And then I want to say he hit some pretty key shots in the 2002 Western Conference Finals. You know what I'm saying? Not talking about the rigged day Game 6, but y'all know what I mean. And then, like, even when he came back to the Lakers for 08, 09, and, you know, made to the finals 3 straight times again with Kobe, he still was hitting some key shots. Like, y'all remember when he completely took over, and I think it was either Game 3 or Game 4 of the 2009 finals, like, where he hit some pretty money shots, and one of them was in Jameer Nelson's face. You know what I'm saying? Like, Derek Fisher don't get talked about a lot for his clutch factor, because you wouldn't think he's clutch because he's so smaller than everybody, but D-Fish was hecka clutch. You know what I'm saying? It's a reason why, you know, Kobe had a high amount of respect for him. Because usually, if Kobe don't give you the ball, he don't respect you. You know what I'm saying? The fact that he always would defer to Fisher, in key situations where he knows he's going to draw a lot of defensive attention. Just goes to show how much Kobe respected him. And as a player, I respect him. You know what I'm saying? You had a great run, D-Fish. You had a great run. But anyway, guys, that's going to be it for this list video. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Notification bell so you know available. And I'll see you all next time for some more, for another list video if I can. I want to apologize for not making any more of these sooner because my new job has been taking a majority of my time and I haven't been able to. So y'all know how it is for a young brother here in America trying to make it. You know what I'm saying? We're working full time, so y'all gotta be patient with your boy. Y'all gotta be patient with your boy when it comes to these list videos, man. But yeah, I'll see y'all in the next one. I'm probably gonna do another music one because since I haven't done that in a while, or maybe another wrestling one. I don't know. But y'all keep tuned in, and if you're subscribed, if you're new, till then, Maverick loves you. Deuces.